My dear, let me start my session, Indirect Taxation, a 40-mark paper with a straightforward disclaimer. I share my views with the intention to make you guys prepare better. And I'm not dropping important areas. I'm not dropping predicted questions because I truly believe entire institute study material is the most important. Institute RTP is more important. Institute mock test is more important rather than any important question given by any one of the private parties outside ICAI. So with all my reverence towards my mother body, I'm carrying on the first insight into how to go about this area. Sir, a day before preparation, that's very important. That is where I just want all of you guys to, stand up and, work with more intensity in the days to come. So first one, how to manage a day before examination, especially when it comes. First and foremost thing, ignore the previous day's examination or that day's examination. Completely give up on that, okay? Because you can't change anything with respect to that exam. So give it up. After coming and having a coffee break, straight away take, direct tax or indirect tax of your choice. But if you take indirect taxation, I would prefer you to straight away go and take volume 2 rather than volume 1. So first and foremost thing, you will be taking volume 2, and the first chapter you have to get it done with registration. And in this topic, sir, what are all the priority areas we have to look in? Time and again it has been evident, registration chapter is a compulsory area for 5 marks to 10 marks, and it is also having a role in MCQ areas to play with. And I will come and separately address on MCQ area what you guys have to do on case studies and MCQs. Let me address that later words. The first and foremost thing is registration. In registration chapters, every one topic is important. I don't carry a second thoughts, but most important is, according to me, the most important big area is Aadhaar authentication. Aadhaar authentication process, how it evolves upon making a registration. That's very, very important, my dear brothers and sisters. When Aadhaar authentication is done, how the registration will be processed. When Aadhaar authentication is not done, how the registration is going to be processed. What is an alternate mechanism? Physical verification or other documents, within how many days it has to be get concluded. So that is one big area, being a close to amendment. And next to one is effective date of registration. Effective date of registration. Clubbing along with, there is one more probability to ask about is revised tax invoice. So this is one area, it's a evergreen area. You guys have to look out to this particular area. If a person who is liable to make a registration and makes an application within 30 days, we get to understand their registration is valid retrospectively. If it is valid retrospectively, one have to give a revised tax invoice, and that too have to be issued within 1 month. That too has to be issued within 1 month from the date of grant of registration. So my dear, you might be asked a question wherein registration will be application for registration, date of becoming liable will be given, and date of making application and date of grant of registration will be given, and you will be asked to advise whether they can issue the revised tax invoice. If so, what is the time limit? So that is one evergreen area you can look forward for this particular topic called revised tax, that is effective date of registration plus revised tax invoice. And the last and the one more happening area which is there to look out is revocation of cancellation. Sir, I'm again disclaiming all topics are important. But the topic what I am telling is must area, and I am not saying these are expected area of questions. Please understand, these are must on the priority and the live happening area. I am telling you this, okay? So please have clarity, I am not a jadugar to give the important questions and say in this 10 questions, one question will come. My dear brothers and sisters, have awareness. I totally believe and trust in the process. 70 years of ICAI's experience, right from 1949 to the almost 72. If I discount 2 extraordinary situations, we have close to 140 examinations being conducted. All examinations, predictions, all these gimmick works has got nothing to do. If anyone predicts and says this question is expected, it is their prediction. Just to think 1 second. If that question is not coming, whether they will own the responsibility for your future? No. So please My dear brothers and sisters, my humble request, my humble suggestion is have your own control over the area, have your own control over the area. Don't go for any prediction things. Cover the syllabus fully, read ISM fully, read RTP mock test, practice mock test fully. Okay, so revocation of cancellation along with its time limits, there is a this is an expected area. And if my memory holds good, in RTP, current RTP applicable for May 22 examination, question number 8 deals with the same area. It goes on to highlight, yes, it is an important area being amended one also. So revocation of cancellation and time limit thereon, a very very important area, and that is the priority area. So registration full chapter you will see, but these 3 topics attach more value, practice more problem there. And next chapter you have to pick up is tax invoice, debit note and credit note, and e-waybill. My dear, I'm splitting this area. First one, what I will be taking you is e-invoice, the most happening area, and you should refrain from the current affairs. E-invoice applicability is 50 crores for your examination. Don't forget, for your examination, the e-invoice limit is 50 crore, and don't get carried away with the current affairs with April, where the current affairs limit has come down. So please stick to your examination requirement as on 31st of October 2021. It is 50 crore time, 50 crores limit. You have to go for the same examination purpose. And e-invoice and its exceptions or non-applicability, for whom and all e-invoice is not applicable. So non-applicability of e-invoice, it is one area where you can also look out for the MCQ. And the second question, which will be for consolidation, consolidated tax invoice concept. My dear, consolidated tax invoice works in 2-3 areas, so you have to work around all those areas. And the next one is e-waybill. And when it comes to e-waybill, my dear brothers and sisters, also please have a look. Please have a look at RTP, current RTP question number 6. If my memory holds good, there is also one question. The question might be whether e-waybill applicable, whether e-waybill is valid. Okay, when it comes to e-waybill, applicability can be a question, or validity can be a question, wherein you have to judge these numbers. Institute questions and institute ISMs is more sufficient to go with that, my dear. Okay, you need not go and search for the outside box and break your head. And after completing these areas, these are the priority areas in this particular chapter. All the area, debit note, credit note, everyone you will have a look. Different types of invoices, everything you will have a look, no doubt. But prediction is you will have to maintain the difference. Kindly ignore the noise behind it. I'm not touching my phone. That's hitting. Let it be. And I could not make it silence also. Let it be, because I have to walk for some distance. Now coming back, next chapter, what you have to take is the returns chapter. My dear, in returns chapter, again, my betting is going to first one, QRMP. QRMP is the first topic you have to cover, and next one is GSTR1, and next one is GSTR3B. And after that, straight away, I would say final return. Please learn about final return. And this is something, an area. And finally, the very, very important late fee. And my dear, look at this. I'm going to give it on a top priority basis. Why? Late fee is the amended area. Late fee is the amendment area. Please, mark it important. There is an amendment happened. And to justify my picking, there is an RTP question also. If my memory holds good, reference, yeah, RTP late fee question number 7. Please refer to this question without fail, and please learn the amendment with respect to late fee without fail. Very, very, very important. These are the areas which I have to focus from the returns chapter. Barring that, I don't think it will be great effort. And after that, the volume 2 consists of payment chapter. In payment chapter, we have only few areas to focus, or I would say only one area to focus is interest calculation. There is a probability that you will be asked for interest calculation, which is to be net of cash, which is to be net of ITC. Very, very important. So interest under section 50 subsection 1, or it can also be under section 50 subsection 3. So you guys have to get it picked. So it is 50 subsection 1 or subsection 3. Okay, so that is one big area from the payment chapter. Balance all informations, and also, yeah, and also one more thing, cash transfer. Cash transfer from one head to another head, that is also another popular testing that could be possible, and in this pandemic driven area, that's one of the relief measures given by the government. So these are all in the volume 2, and apart from this, straight away I would say please complete valuation. The next area you will be doing is valuation, and valuation please focus on the special adjustment with respect to 15 subsection 2 and discount with respect to 15 subsection 3. You will not have much of problem with respect to discount. Only one thing what you have to keep back of mind is 15 subsection 2. In 15 subsection 2, please look out for adjustment. Please look out for adjustment is other taxes. Other taxes, they might test you recovered, not recovered. So how the adjustments have to be for recovered, how the adjustment if it is not recovered, subsidy. And when it comes to subsidy, please be clear, government one or non-government. And my dear, apart from this, and whether adjusted or not adjusted. So please get geared up with all these treatments. And next one is penalty or interest. So interest or penalty or late fee. And if this is included, whether it is to be treated as inclusive. So these are the areas in valuation which you have to keep your views on. And more or less, if you do a problem, and I'm telling you, if you practice the past institute material, all the institute material problems, if you practice, when I say institute material problem, please be very clear. Institute of Chartered Accountancy material, Institute of Chartered Accountancy, Institute material, ISM. If you practice all the problems given there twice, all the illustrations given twice, all the book backs given twice, more than sufficient, more than sufficient, more than sufficient. You can score in abundance in that particular area. And also after that, you please go directly to input tax credit, ITC, input tax credit, and focus only on blocked credit and the conditions, blocked credit and conditions for availing ITC. And while reading the conditions for availing ITC, rule 86A and 86B, very, very, very important. It's very, very, very important, my dear. Please focus only on this two area. Entire examination question is going to revolve around only this two area. Only this two area. Entire examination question is going to revolve around. So don't ever think about going over and above this requirement. Again, what is that I have to do, sir? Book back, institute ISM, mock test, RTP, more than sufficient. You will be scoring full over here. And my dear, don't forget, ITC, there is a far sure question of 4 to 5 marks minimum on a standalone basis. Oh, okay. 4 to 5 mark on a standalone basis. Valuation, it's a compulsory. Valuation is a compulsory 5 mark area. It's a compulsory 5 mark area, my dear. So these are all something far sure picks, far sure picks. And after this, please focus. After this, please focus to quickly revise all the RCMs. After that, please go ahead and quickly revise all RCMs. And after the RCMs getting completed, please go and complete something called composition scheme supply. Composition scheme supply. And after completing this, come to exemption chapter. And after that, please go ahead to read Schedule 1, Schedule 3, and composite and mixed supply. In chapter number 2. That's it. That's it. Will work out in this order. If you go ahead to proceed in your examination revision, sir, balance chapter is all others. I will put others. Okay, I will not say anything is not important. But in initial chapters, you'd have done a good amount of revision. Where is a control is required? Control is required in the previous earlier chapters, as I said. So these are time consuming and these are the focus areas in the examination. So I insist very clearly, you guys have to go through this all in a very detailed, in a very, very, very detailed manner. And after all these things, I will give you one priority area. I'll give you one priority area to practice, to practice, to practice. I'll give you a priority area. My dear, case studies and MCQ, ICAI has published, ICAI has published a case study, case study, content. Please, I'm telling you, lot of times students waste by following the material, somewhere getting circulated in Telegram group, somewhere getting circulated in other area. All those things are, I don't want to comment on it, but I want to insist you can go and read that all. But before the checkout, have you completed the ICA publication, Institute of Chartered Accountancy publication? That's very, very, very important. Let me underline that is very, very, very important. My dear, compulsory question, the first question, MCQ question that is coming from the ICA publication. And the reason for students finding indirect taxation difficult is this: you are not practicing Institute of Chartered Accountancy material. You will register for the course with ICAI and you will take the book of ICAI, but you will not study, but you won't expect good mark. How come it is logical? Yeah, it is absolutely not logical. So please follow the ICAI publication. Case study publication is there. Some MCQ and case studies put together, some 75 pages publication ICAI has released. It has been upgraded. Please follow that without fail, and also practice something called overall problem. What is overall problem? In one question, they will test your supply, they will test RCM, they will test exemption, and they will test you on input tax credit adjustments. And when I say input tax credit adjustment, including opening balance, purchase during the period, and RCM credit, how to go about RCM credit, and all those things they will test in one place. And please be prepared for this kind of overall problem. Finally, they will ask you net cash payable. Finally, they will ask you the net cash payable. This is something, a very, very, very interesting question, my dear. I want all of you to have a focus in this area. And all this area, when I gave you a highlighting area, please understand, I have simultaneously covered all the amendments applicable for the examination. If you understand, goods RCM got amended, that is not relevant. But when it comes to exemption, there is, yes, first 12 AA has got added with 12 AB. That amendment is a very silly amendment. And barring that, you have new additions in 61A. And apart from 61A, there is 9AB, and apart from this, there is 82B and 72 to add up with. These are areas. And leasing services, railway leasing asset has been removed. So focus more on exemption chapter. If you do exemption chapter with the amendments, that is more than sufficient. It will do. When it comes to registration chapter, as I told you, revocation of cancellation alone got the priority. That is the only amendment area, and that is also one of the highlighting area I have told you. Method of authentication is a very common practice area. Tax invoice also. Next to tax invoice, debit note, credit note chapter, we are again highlighting on the e-invoice amendments carried out by the government. There is a new set of list has been given wherein e-invoice is not applicable to whom. Please make a note. This can be an exceptional testing of direct 4-mark or 5-mark area. So mark this also, very, very important. And when it comes to e-waybill, when e-waybill could not be generated, has been amended to give a clarity that e-waybill cannot be generated only towards the outward supply and not towards the inward supply. That is a great relaxation to the trade and industry in practice and in reality. So mark that also important. So I have inculcated that significance also while insisting on the e-waybill area. So mark when e-waybill not when restriction for furnishing information part A in e-waybill 01, that is also one of the prominent area. So apart from applicability, apart from validity, restriction on generating e-waybill also one more area, very, very important. And remember, amendment is also there with respect to the same. And when it comes to return, as I correctly highlighted, please understand, late fee has been given a significant mark for us. So mark it also important. And my dear brothers and sisters, that's the end of amendment. And before I sign off, I just want to share a few more examination. You guys would have been already flooded with a lot of information. Point number 1, believe in your preparation. Point number 2, close your eyes, close your ears. When someone comes and shows you and says you this question is important, that faculty has given the important question list, please close your ears. Number 3, practice sufficiently. Number 4, write for the full hours in the examination, write for 100 marks. Don't ever skip anything. Don't look out for shortcuts. My dear brothers and sisters, I truly believe we are all born in a different age limit. But what I truly believe is soon you all will be my professional brothers if you work on your merits rather than searching for luck. Always luck favors the brave. Okay, so be brave, soldiers. Face the examination with utmost confidence. Tell yourself you are there to clear the examination. Even now, you start. There is a lot of time on the basis of the guidance what me and other my professional colleagues are sharing with you. Wishing you all success.